Okay, this is TK Shazam. I'm just a nerd who likes Tekken and talking about it. And this will be some more feedback for FlipMamba. Giant Root Kid already gave you some more detailed information. I will just try and avoid covering anything that he already did. And instead talk about here's where I think it went well, here's where I think it went poorly, and areas to think about for the future. How does it? Okay, cool. I can use this next one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so right here, right, you're running up for the demo man, and I agree with the idea, but as you're gonna find out as you fight in these ranks, right, like the early purples, blues, etc., etc., you're gonna quickly find out that people will mash on wake up nearly 100% of the time, and you want to get into the habit. This is where specifically the concept Giant Rude Kid talked about. I need to find an easier way to say that name. Three syllables, too much, too much. Where did he talk about it? Talked about the good moves. I will also highly recommend down forward four. Down forward four is amazing. Fucking love that. All right, so he talks about you sometimes need to do nothing. And this is the same thing we're talking. Think about the concept I talked about earlier, right? As Paul, you need to not whiff your buttons. They need to be blocked or they hit, right? If you start whiffing buttons as Paul, you will die, right? This also applies to the opponent. If they start whiffing buttons and you are playing Paul, they will die, straight up. So right here, this run up demo man, right? So you get the counter hit, nice, good confirm. Run up. You should not be running up this close. You should have maybe stopped. Let's do. It was too far. Okay. Like one backdash before this, right? Because you want to let him wake up into a button, right? God, they made wake up kicks safe in this game, and it's so annoying because that low still has some really long range to it. I really don't like that. If you're gonna make him safe, reduce the range. Oh my god, that shit's so annoying. Anyway, it is what it is. First world problems. Here, this is where you should have done nothing. You run up, you wait a little bit, try to wait just outside of the range where a get up low will hit you, and let them wake up into a button. All right. You need to gauge what type of player you are playing first. Did he already get 2 rounds on you? Yeah, those are highlighted. What did he? What? I can't remember. But so you've had 2 rounds to fight this guy, and they should give you an understanding of, hey, what is, what the fuck? What do they like to do on wake up? What type of player are they? Are they buttons happy? Are they Are they super defensive? Right? They gives you you need to get an understanding of who you are fighting, so that way you can maximize your opportunities as Paul. If someone's mashing a lot, with punish or frame trap. If someone's super defensive, push them to the wall with your movement, and then chip in with lows like quarter circle forward 3, sidestep 3, even back 4, to set up your mids or start throwing them, whatever else. Just from this wake up interaction, I have the impression that this player is very aggressive or will mash on wake up, right? And it's not necessarily a bad option, it's just this is what the player does. And from there, I will make an educated guess, right? When you hear the term read, oh, someone had a really good read, right? They are, when you see any level of player, low, beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever, right? Whenever they have a read, sometimes they're just, they don't care. They're pressing the button and they don't care. But when someone at a higher level makes a read and starts, countering your option perfectly, they're making an educated guess based on the information you've given them previously, right? So I will make the educated guess that this Dragunov player will mash on wake up. So I will dash up to bait out a response, hold back, and then if he whiffs, whiff punish. If he doesn't, all right, I'll try and re-engage in neutral, right? Sometimes I will guess wrong. I guessed that the opponent waked up with a button. I guessed wrong. They just got up and started moving and I lost wall positioning. It happens. But you want to get into the habit of pump the brakes, wait, see what the opponent likes to do, and then move on, right? If it's the first round, if you have no idea what to do against the opponent, try to formulate a pattern of attack that is low commitment and lets you gain information. For example, try to use core circle forward 3 on wake up a lot, right? Dashing up a little bit, using that distance, and then hitting them. You're never committing, right? Again, the ideal is to maximize information gathering without too much commitment. So we're going off into a tangent. Long story short, when do you do nothing? When you know the opponent's going to mash on wake up or just mash in general. So you want to start practicing spacing and whiff punishing. Right? Let's continue. Another thing to consider is what options do they like to do? Online and sometimes offline. The dick jab that he did, that's very popular, right? And so now that gives you information. You know, okay, so he likes to do dick jab when the opponent's pressuring him. Dick jab is beaten with movement, so sidestep or backdash, or low crushing it, right? It's safe, so you can't block punish it, so you have to whiff punish it, or just outright say fuck you to your special low, and then do a hop kick, or do something that crushes that, right? Don't do up forward 2, that's bad, but besides that, right? So try to figure out, when you see that, I would recommend movement, but if you want to try hop kick, it's usually a bigger call out. It's also mid, so if they were just ducking, you'll hit them. And try to find what response you're comfortable with. For me, I try to opt for movement, but I definitely have tried just hop kicking dick jabs in the past. You typically do not want to answer mashing with your own form of mashing. It's really context dependent, and I think at the start, you're better off opting for movement. It's tough to gauge when you want to start counter mashing and when you want to try and aim for setting up a whiff punish. The only thing I can really say is just do it. Just practice it, experiment with both options, and try to find what works best for you. But those are your options, so make an educated guess or make an educated decision on which option you want to do. Beautiful. Love it. More of this. Core circle 4-3 is goated. I don't know. People are always like, oh, Paul's lows or whatever. I'm like, I think core circle 4-3 fucking carries people, dude. I don't know what to tell you. That's fine. That's whatever. Block punish that. When you're watching your replays, have the frame data on and make sure you block punish that heat engage or whatever he did. I need to remember my watching Dragunov punish guy. That's too bad. The whiff punish deficit was great. That's fine. Let's just keep going. I like the trying here, right? You tried to punish it. You block something. You tried to punish it. So now you know, so now it's not for certain yet. Maybe you were too slow with the punish, but back 1-2 is not working out. Maybe try 1-2 in the future. If 1-2 works, then okay, it's like at least -10. And then you have to consider, maybe you were too slow with the back 1-2. Some punishes you really got to be on point. Otherwise, they just recover too quickly. It's really annoying. And other punishes, it actually was not. Maybe it was -11 or something, right? So double check that or confirm it by watching a video guide or something. But for now, let's just keep going. Nice. Good disruption. While standing forward, really good. Round start down 1+2. People already talked about it. Try not to do it too much. So I Yeah, I mean, I saw the forward forward 2-2, and I saw later on you do cancel it, so you are trying to like mix it up. I will let you rock it for now. I don't recommend it. Again, I think you need to practice approaching with less moves and more movement, right? Using a dash block, gauging when the opponent's going to throw a keep out so you can whiff punish, stuff like that. Quarter circle forward 3, down forward 4, like Giant Rude Kid. I'm just going to call him Giant, like Giant said, right? Or forward 4-2-1 for whiff punishing, not approach, whiff punishing, right? Stuff like that. You want to start setting that up because you're going to face people who, like you, have seen Paul a million times and will be ready for the style of approach you're currently going for, and it's just not recommended, right? Let's keep going. This is what I'm talking about, right? He likes to wake up with buttons. He will challenge your Oki. Remember, nothing in Tekken is ever guaranteed, besides like maybe a heat engager, right? There are very rarely these sort of checkmate situations where it doesn't matter what the opponent wants to do, you get to press your button first, right? Especially for Paul, he just doesn't get that often. So when you get an opponent on knockdown, if they mash on wake up in the previous 3 rounds, they're probably going to mash on wake up again. So do nothing. Just wait it out, see them whiff, and then punish. If they don't do anything, if they just get up standing, quarter circle forward 3, do a low, reposition, whatever else. Okay. More throws, good, just like Giant said. I like what you were going for here. Dash up, down 1 is not a bad idea. However, again, as you're approaching, because you need to close the distance, this Dragunov here is immediately saying movement from you. At the sight of any button press, he is mashing, right? He is already getting ready to press on you. And that's just how online play will be sometimes. Even just offline play with Tekken 8, right? So try to gauge the distance. Again, if you're fighting a mashing opponent, think about it. Like, do you need to close that much distance? If you need to dash twice to get close to the opponent in range 0, number one, Paul is not amazing in range 0. Yes, he has Demo Man Death Fist. I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's enough to warrant being in range 0. You are playing a turtle can counter hitting space control character, right? So if it takes you 2 dashes to get to the opponent, right? But if you just did 1 dash and now you're in a range where you can wait for a whiff, you can whiff punish them, or you can start space controlling with down forward 2 and quarter circle back 4, do that instead, right? Because in the time it takes you to do 2 dashes, Dragunov over here is already pressing whatever button he wants to slam you out of it, right? So do 1 last dash, try to get them to whiff, and then whiff punish. Good duck, good duck. This was good, right? Experiment on defense. What you should do, what you can't do. The classic. Try to avoid autopiloting while standing 3-2 too much. Do like Giant was talking about, while standing 1-2, try to do that more. Nice! Nice! Beautiful. Beautiful. He's mashing, right? He's gonna mash. So do your counter hit launchers. Perfect. Beautiful. More side step 3. Right? So those are my thought process based on this match. Well, you weren't whiffing that much. I think you were fine. Set up whiff punishment more. Do nothing, right? Figure out what type of opponent are you fighting and what is the proper response to that style, right? If they're mashing, whiff punish, frame trap. If they're not mashing, lows, throws, movement. Just if they keep backdashing, keep dashing towards them safely. Don't get too close, but push them to the wall, right? And trying to get a sense for that timing is going to be very critical to Paul. All right, that's pretty much what I have to say. I don't think there's enough or any reason to do like a full breakdown. Anyway. Pencil on YouTube. Pencil is a Tekken content creator, Fang player, Paul sub, amazing person. He will he does amazing guides breaking down every block punish slash movement punish situation for the entire move list of a character, barring like 10 strings and throws, whatever, right? The detail that he goes into gives you a lot of information. As you're learning matchups and as you're learning characters, if you just want to figure out a punish situation, save the replay, see what the frame data display says, or if you don't have a replay saved, definitely recommend Pencil on YouTube. You can just type literally like a pencil you would write with. Just type in Pencil Tekken and his channel will probably pop up. He's very well known for his punish guides. I'll link one to you, and I'd recommend checking him out, right? Besides that, I think you have more than enough information to work with. If you have more questions, you know where to find people. And yeah, that's it for now. Have a good one.